This is your macroeconomic video on aggregate supply shifters. Remember, your supply lines, both short-run and long-run aggregate supply, are about the supply or manufacturing of goods or people who are supplying goods. So anything that would affect how you manufacture or produce things, including input prices, would shift supply. That includes land and all natural resources, labor, which means, the amount of workers that you have or the nominal wages you're paying people. Capital, which is machinery, equipment, technology, and of course, entrepreneurship and idea generation. If these input prices are more expensive, supply goes down. And if they're cheaper, supply goes up. Remember, these 5 things are also referred to as factors of production. Other things that can also be aggregate supply and demand shifters. Commodity prices. A commodity is just when people buy a certain input in bulk quantities, like crude oil. So crude oil is purchased, it's pumped out of the ground, and it's then refined at a refinery into products that we use, like gasoline or chapstick or plastics. So sometimes a commodity could be something from the land, like a natural resource like oil, or you could buy things in bulk that you would need, let's say cotton, in order to make t-shirts or fabrics. So if commodity prices have increased, then aggregate supply will shift to the left. And if these commodity prices have gone down, then that means short-run aggregate supply would shift to the right. Other aggregate supply shifters, changes in nominal wages. So nominal wages are the wages that businesses pay their workers, which is part of labor. So if you decide to increase workers' wages, that means it's going to be more expensive input, and aggregate supply shifts to the left. If you cut people's wages, that's going to decrease your costs, and aggregate supply will shift right. The last one is changes in productivity. Productivity is just how much work or output you can do with the amount of workers or laborers you have currently. So if we're increasing productivity, it means the work per hour is increasing. So that literally means we are increasing the amount of supply we're producing with the same amount of people. That would shift aggregate supply to the right. And conversely, if we decrease productivity, then aggregate supply would shift to the left.